What we're going to be discussing today is how to style the entryway so it's more welcoming for you and your guests, as it is the first space that translates into the rest of the house.
Welcome to this week's edition of Indigo Living on the Couch series. Each week I invite special guests to join me on the couch to share their inspirational stories and ideas. Now this week I've invited my dear friend Nisreen. You've known her as an incredible interior designer, and I wanted her to join me on the couch as we approach the summer. Sometimes you just want to add special touches to your home. So Nisreen, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rosamond. It's so good to be here, and what a great start to the episode.
Well, I'm happy you're here because I feel like you are going to share some of your insights of really how to personalize your home and entrances and key areas in a space.
Absolutely. So one of the key areas we're going to start with is actually the first space you step into when you enter your house or when your guests come over, and that is the entryway. And in the entryway, one thing that people seem to forget is that, you know, you have the console or the sideboard that you would put in there, and it ends up gathering clutter. So what we're going to be discussing today is how to style the entryway so it's more welcoming for you and your guests, as it is the first space that translates into the rest of the house.
So it is the first place that it's the first impression, as we say, the minute you open that door.
Yeah.
I think if you come to my house, you'll see that I have my keys there. Maybe a lipstick is like hanging out on the table.
Yeah.
So what are some suggestions to find products to, you know, hide these things that you use every day?
Absolutely. So two things I like to use is either a tray where it could collect the items, or if you're using a sideboard, you could always hide them in the drawers. The third option is to actually use one of those trinket boxes, so you could just literally put the keys inside and just close it, and then the entire space will remain, you know, properly styled and clutter-free.
Now, I'm going to give the floor to Nisreen because she is going to give us a professional opinion on how to create 3 special looks at home, which are easy to do with products from Indigo Living.
So for the first setup, we opted for a more symmetrical sort of look because the console is more geometrical, so we wanted to add to that. So we added 2 beautiful artworks on top of it in golden tones and some blue. And then we added a table lamp on one side. Now what the table lamps do is it adds an extra layer of lighting, which is always interesting, you know, especially when you, at night, you know, when you put it on, it just adds warmth to the space. After placing the lamp, what we've done is we've added a jewelry box to act as a trinket box where you could hide your keys. It has a little drawer as well if you want to take off your watch when you come in. Then we added 2 photo frames, you know, to add a bit of personalization where you could add your family pictures in there. And they are in 2 different sizes, which always adds visual interest as well. And then a little flower that is cast in iron, and just it adds another layer of personality from the space. And then we ended with the other table lamp on the other side. So the entire look looks quite symmetrical. It helps your eye travel up and then down and then up. It's quite relaxed for an interior. So for the second look, we've opted for a smaller console that is ideal for smaller apartments, for example, or entryways. Because it's very structural, we've added sculptural items on top of it, like those sculptures with the little balls. And then we've added 2 trinket boxes on top of each other, and another bowl that is also reiterates the entire shape with its half sphere and the frame around it. And this all adds, again, visual interest that is very comforting to the eye because it reiterates the same structural shapes. For the third look and for variety, I have decided to go with a round table that could be used in a bigger foyer or a villa entryway. To style this, we've decided to section it into 4 different sections of items, beginning with some quirky items like a candle, a little dog in brass that could be placed on one end, and then a stack of books on the other end. And then we styled it with quirky items like a turtle and some scented oils. It's always nice, you know, when you welcome your guests with scents, because that is very personalized as well. So we've opted for some candles on one side and then scented oils on the other, and they're both from the same scent, so they complement each other. And then in the middle, we've placed a really beautiful vase of flowers Now to finish off the look, we've added a small footstool that could be used to put on your shoes, to use it, so it's quite functional, and it completes the entire look as well in terms of shape and color.
Thanks so much for sharing those tips with us.
Oh, pleasure.
Every time we sit together, I just want to redo my rooms. But I really love the idea of investing in a little trinket box or a jewelry box to really declutter that space. Share with us some trends that are happening in the interior design area.
So one of the trends that's continuously still there is the actual mix of metals. So having the brass with the gold, with the silver, and having it all in one space so that it complements each other. It's still quite trending.
And finally, for the summer, are there any tips that you have to keep your house looking on trend?
So one thing I like to do is, as the season gets hotter, is to actually go lighter in colors and tones inside your house. So I would remove everything that's dark and bring in more flowers, whether faux or real. Go for lighter colored cushions as well. Maybe use texture on texture instead of going for darker colors. It just gives the space a lighter look.
That's such a good tip. Our motto here is to live beautifully at Indigo Living. And what is your living beautifully?
Well, I have two things to say about that. Definitely have the space really complement your personality and show that. And the other one is please live clutter-free, because clutter is always what we hold in our houses. And when your space is properly organized and styled, you'll know where each piece sits, and then you don't have to worry about all the extras that you don't need.
Thank you so much for being with us. We love having you here. Thanks for sharing your ideas.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching this week's edition of Indigo Living on the Couch series. We love hearing from you, so make sure you comment below, like our page, and of course, tune in every Thursday on IGTV. Thanks for watching.